Everybody Hates Chris cast then, and now 2005 versus 2026. You laughed at the jokes, but what if Everybody Hates Chris was never really a comedy? Beneath the punchlines were real stories about poverty, school pressure, identity, and growing up feeling different in your own neighborhood. The show didn't rely on fantasy. It reflected real families, real struggles, and real resilience. That's why it still connects nearly 20 years later. These characters weren't superheroes. They were ordinary people trying to make life work one day at a time. If you grew up with this series, you already know it was bigger than entertainment. Tell me your favorite character in the comments and subscribe to Black Excellence Legends so we can keep honoring stories that shaped a generation. Tyler James Williams, Chris Rock. When Everybody Hates Chris premiered in 2005, audiences weren't just watching a sitcom, they were witnessing a coming-of-age story rooted in real experiences. At the center of it stood Tyler James Williams, chosen personally by comedian Chris Rock to portray his younger self. As teenage Chris Williams played a hardworking kid navigating a tough Brooklyn neighborhood, a strict household, and a school where he was often the only black student. The humor was sharp, but the character's reality was grounded. Viewers related to the awkward bus rides, the constant money struggles at home, and the feeling of trying to belong in places that never fully welcomed you. For Williams, the role came early in life, but carried enormous responsibility. Before the show, he had appeared on children's programs like Sesame Street and Little Bill. Yet Everybody Hates Chris instantly turned him into one of the most recognizable young actors on television. The series ran for 4 seasons from 2005 to 2009, and throughout that time, he carried nearly every episode as narrator and lead character, a rare challenge for a teenager. Years later, he admitted the experience taught him how to anchor an entire production while still growing up himself. Unlike many child stars, Williams transitioned successfully into adult roles. He appeared in the film Dear White People 2014 and later in the historical drama Detroit 2017. Television also remained central to his career with guest roles in The Walking Dead and Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. His biggest second breakthrough arrived with ABC's Abbott Elementary, where he plays Gregory Eddy, a young teacher balancing ambition with self-doubt. The performance earned widespread critical praise and demonstrated his range beyond comedy. Off-screen, Williams has spoken openly about living with Crohn's disease, diagnosed in 2017. Instead of hiding it, he uses his platform to spread awareness about chronic illness and early treatment. His willingness to discuss health struggles adds another dimension to his public image, not just an actor, but an advocate. His journey reflects persistence. He moved from child fame to respected adulthood without losing direction, showing that early success does not guarantee stability. Discipline does. His story quietly reminds audiences that growth takes time and empathy matters. Sometimes the strongest people are those who keep moving forward while helping others feel less alone. Terry Crews, Julius Rock. In Everybody Hates Chris, Julius Rock became unforgettable for one simple reason. He treated every dollar like it mattered. Played by Terry Crews, the character was a hardworking father holding multiple jobs while constantly reminding his children how expensive everything was. His strict budgeting, memorized prices, and famous reactions to wasting electricity were played for comedy, yet they reflected a deeper reality about families trying to survive paycheck to paycheck. Beneath the jokes, Julius was not a harsh parent, but a devoted provider who expressed love through sacrifice rather than words. Crews brought authenticity to the role because discipline had already shaped his own life. For acting, he spent 6 seasons in the National Football League, playing for teams including the Los Angeles Rams and Philadelphia Eagles. When his football career ended, he faced financial uncertainty and began pursuing entertainment, initially taking small roles and even doing background work. Everybody Hates Chris changed everything. The sitcom ran from 2005 to 2009, and Julius quickly became one of the show's most beloved figures, proving Crews possessed remarkable comedic timing and emotional warmth. After the series, his career expanded dramatically. He joined the ensemble of Brooklyn Nine-Nine as Sergeant Terry Jeffords, a physically imposing officer with a sensitive personality, and later became the host of America's Got Talent. He also appeared in films such as The Longest Yard and contributed voice acting in animated productions. Beyond performance, he published his autobiography, Manhood: How to Be a Better Man, openly discussing personal mistakes and growth, including struggles that once affected his marriage. In 2017, he publicly spoke about being a victim of sexual assault in Hollywood, encouraging conversations about accountability and respect. Cruz's public image is built on honesty and resilience. His portrayal of Julius showed that strength is not only physical, it can be responsibility, patience, and consistency. The character worried constantly about bills, but he never stopped working for his family. In real life and on screen, Cruz demonstrates that integrity often appears in ordinary effort. Providing, protecting, and admitting past failures all require courage. Sometimes the true measure of a person is not fame or talent, but the willingness to grow and support others every day. Tichina Arnold, Rochelle Rock. In Everybody Hates Chris, loudest voice in the Rock household often belonged to Rochelle Rock, portrayed by Tichina Arnold. Rochelle was strict, proud, and fiercely protective of her children, yet underneath the shouting was a mother constantly trying to hold her family together. She managed Bill's discipline and household stability, while her husband worked multiple jobs, making her the emotional center of the home. The character's memorable one-liners and quick temper created many of the show's funniest moments, but they also reflected the pressure many parents feel when responsibility never pauses. Rochelle didn't believe in excuses, and her children knew she could hear trouble before it even happened. Arnold already had significant experience in comedy before joining the series. She rose to prominence in the 1990s as Pam James on the sitcom Martin, where her expressive reactions and timing established her as a standout performer. When Everybody Hates Chris debuted in 2005, she used that background to shape Rochelle into more than a stereotype. Her performance balanced humor with realism, presenting a hardworking mother whose strictness came from fear that her children might face a world harsher than their home. The sitcom ran 4 seasons through 2009, and Rochelle remained one of its most quoted characters. After the show, Arnold maintained a steady career. She later joined The Neighborhood as Tina Butler, continuing her success in television comedy, and also performed live stand-up, demonstrating confidence beyond scripted roles. Off-camera, she co-founded the We Win Foundation to support individuals and families affected by lupus, inspired by her sister's illness. She has also spoken publicly about health challenges, including endometriosis, sharing her experiences to encourage awareness and understanding. Rochelle Rock represented discipline rooted in love. Her parenting style could feel intense, yet it was driven by protection and hope for her children's future. Arnold's portrayal reminds viewers that care does not always appear gentle. Sometimes love is loud, persistent, and demanding because it wants the best for those it guards. Behind every strong family often stands someone carrying the worry quietly so others can feel secure. Tequan Richmond, Drew Rock. As Drew Rock, the younger brother who seemed effortlessly popular, Tequan Richmond played an important contrast to Chris. Drew excelled socially and athletically, easily making friends and attracting admiration, while Chris struggled for acceptance. This dynamic became a recurring comedic theme, yet it also showed how siblings can grow up in the same home and experience the world very differently. Drew's confidence and charm often created humorous misunderstandings, but he remained loyal to his brother when it truly mattered. His character added lightness to difficult situations, showing that support can appear in quiet gestures rather than speeches. Richmond entered acting early, appearing in television dramas such as ERCSI and Cold Case before the sitcom premiered in 2005. However, Everybody Hates Chris introduced him to a wider audience. Over the show's 4-season run, he matured alongside the cast, portraying adolescence with natural ease. One of his notable pre-series roles was playing Ray Charles Jr. in the film Ray 2004, demonstrating his ability to handle both comedic and dramatic material. After the sitcom concluded, Richmond continued acting, most prominently portraying T.J. Ashford on the long-running soap opera General Hospital from 2012 to 2018. His performance earned multiple Daytime Emmy Award nominations, confirming his growth beyond child acting. He also appeared in independent films and commercials, while exploring music under the name T-Rich, sharing performances and creative projects online. In his personal life, he embraced fatherhood, balancing family responsibilities with his creative pursuits. Drew Rock's story reminds audiences that confidence often hides its own challenges. Richmond's career shows patience and adaptability. A transition from child performer to adult artist requires persistence and humility. Success is not always immediate recognition. Sometimes it is steady progress and the willingness to keep improving while life changes around you. Imani Hakim, Tonya Rock. As the youngest member of the Rock family, Tonya Rock, played by Imani Hakim, often delivered some of the sharpest humor in Everybody Hates Chris. Tonya appeared innocent at first glance, yet she was clever, manipulative, in a childlike way, and fully aware of how to get her parents' attention, especially when blaming Chris for problems she helped create. Her character represented childhood honesty. She said what adults avoided and reacted to situations without filters. While her role created many comedic moments, it also highlighted the chaos and affection within a tight-knit family, where even the smallest voice could shift the entire household's mood. Hakim began acting very young, training in theater, before landing the sitcom in 2005. For 4 seasons, she grew up in front of the audience, portraying a believable younger sibling who constantly tested boundaries but still depended on her family's protection. During the show's run, she also appeared in guest roles on series like CSI Crime Scene Investigation and later expanded into film. After the sitcom ended in 2009, she steadily built a varied career. She portrayed Olympic gymnast Gabby Douglas in The Gabby Douglas Story. 2014, appeared in comedic projects such as Sharknado, The Fourth Awakens, and eventually secured a prominent role in the Apple TV Plus comedy Mythic Quest, where she plays Dana, a video game tester, pursuing creative ambitions. Beyond acting, Hakim developed additional creative interests. She practices painting, follows a vegan lifestyle, and even stepped behind the camera to direct an episode of Mythic Quest, marking a significant professional milestone. Her progression from child performer to adult creator reflects maturity rarely easy in entertainment careers. Tonya Rock's humor came from her honesty, and Hakim's journey reflects a similar authenticity. Growing up publicly can be difficult, yet she navigated it with balance and purpose. Her story suggests that talent is only a starting point, dedication and curiosity sustain it. Sometimes the best growth happens quietly when someone keeps learning instead of trying to remain who they once were. Vincent Martella Greg Wooliger. In Everybody Hates Chris, Greg Wooliger was more than the main character's best friend. He was Chris's only consistent ally at school. Portrayed by Vincent Martella, Greg was awkward, talkative, and socially clueless, at times yet completely loyal. While Chris struggled as the only black student in many classes, Greg never treated him differently. Their friendship carried the emotional core of the series, demonstrating that understanding often begins with simple kindness. Greg didn't always comprehend Chris's experiences, but he listened, stood beside him, and offered companionship when isolation felt overwhelming. Martella had already appeared in youth television and film before joining the show in 2005, but the sitcom made him widely recognizable. His comedic timing, rapid dialogue, exaggerated reactions, and constant enthusiasm made Greg memorable. When the series ended in 2009, Martella successfully transitioned into voice acting, a move that expanded his career dramatically. He voiced Phineas Flynn in Disney's animated hit Phineas and Ferb from 2007 to 2015, a role that introduced him to an international audience and earned critical praise. He later voiced characters in animated Batman projects and video games, demonstrating versatility across media. He also continued live-action appearances, including a guest role in The Walking Dead and appearances in television dramas. In 2024, he unexpectedly gained renewed popularity when a social media movement in Brazil dramatically increased his online following, leading to interviews and promotional appearances abroad, a reminder that television nostalgia can cross generations and cultures. Greg Wooliger represented friendship without conditions. Martella's portrayal showed that empathy doesn't require shared backgrounds, only willingness to care. The character's loyalty taught a simple lesson: sometimes one supportive person can change how another experiences the world. Real companionship is not about understanding everything. It is about choosing to stand beside someone anyway. Chris Rock, narrator/adult Chris Rock. Although he rarely appeared on screen, Chris Rock was the true voice guiding Everybody Hates Chris. Serving as narrator and adult version of the main character, he framed each episode with commentary drawn from his real childhood in 1980s Brooklyn. His voiceovers transformed ordinary situations, school embarrassment, strict parenting, and neighborhood mischief into reflections on race identity and growing up. Instead of exaggerating reality, Rock grounded the comedy in truth. The humor worked because the memories felt authentic, showing adolescence not as a perfect journey, but as a series of awkward lessons. Before creating the series, Rock had already established himself as one of stand-up comedy's most influential figures through his specials and his time on Saturday Night Live. Everybody Hates Chris allowed him to present a more personal narrative, blending storytelling with social observation. After the show concluded in 2009, he continued acting in films such as the Grown Ups franchise and voicing Marty the Zebra in the Madagascar animated series. He also returned to stand-up, releasing the Netflix special Selective Outrage in 2023, which renewed interest in his observational style. Rock's career has included public controversies and personal challenges, yet he has increasingly spoken about mental health and self-reflection, acknowledging therapy and personal growth. Rather than hiding his experiences, he uses them as material to examine human behavior. His storytelling often focuses on accountability and perspective, themes consistent with the series he created. Through narration, Rock connected comedy with memory. He reminded viewers that laughter often comes from survival and hindsight. Sometimes humor is not meant to erase pain, but to understand it. His work suggests that sharing honest stories helps people recognize their own experiences, and that reflection can transform embarrassment into wisdom. Jacqueline Mazzarella, Principal Morello. As Principal Morello, portrayed by Jacqueline Mazzarella, Everybody Hates Chris introduced one of its most memorable comedic figures. Morello believed she was supportive and progressive, yet her attempts to relate to Chris frequently revealed unconscious bias. She constantly misinterpreted his life, making exaggerated assumptions about his neighborhood and background, while insisting she understood him perfectly. The character's humor came from contradiction, good intentions combined with misunderstanding, allowing the show to explore cultural stereotypes without hostility. Mazzarella appeared throughout all 4 seasons, from 2005 to 2009, and her scenes often highlighted the school environment where Chris felt isolated. Morello was not malicious. She genuinely wanted to help. However, her lack of awareness illustrated how prejudice can exist quietly, even in polite conversations. By presenting the character comedically, the series encouraged audiences to reflect on everyday assumptions rather than only overt discrimination. After the sitcom ended, Mazzarella continued working steadily in television and film, appearing in shows such as Jane the Virgin, Fresh Off the Boat, and The Morning Show. She also expanded behind the camera, writing and producing projects including the miniseries The Oversharer. Later, she expressed enthusiasm for returning to the franchise through the animated continuation, Everybody Still Hates Chris, maintaining her connection to the character that defined her television recognition. Principal Morello's lasting impact lies in subtlety. She showed that ignorance is not always aggressive. Sometimes it is simply unexamined belief. The character invites viewers to reconsider how assumptions affect others. Understanding begins with listening, and respect grows when people accept that learning about someone else's experience never truly ends. Cavante Jackson Jerome. In Everybody Hates Chris, few characters left a bigger impression with less screen time than Jerome, played by Cavante Jackson. As the neighborhood hustler and occasional thief, Jerome appeared whenever Chris least expected it, instantly raising the tension while still making audiences laugh. His exaggerated confidence, slow walk, and memorable catchphrases turned him into one of the show's most quoted characters. Yet beyond comedy, Jerome represented the unpredictable environment surrounding Chris's childhood, a reminder that growing up in a tough neighborhood required awareness and caution as much as humor. Jackson's background in entertainment actually began with music. Before acting, he was a member of the R&B group Third Story in the late 1990s and early 2000s, building performance skills long before his television appearances. After gaining recognition from the sitcom, he expanded into voice acting, contributing to animated series such as The Proud Family and The Boondocks. He also appeared in film and television projects, while gradually moving toward behind-the-scenes creative work. In recent years, Jackson has connected with audiences through podcasting, launching a youth-focused program with his daughter, where he discusses real-life issues like bullying, relationships, and growing up. He has also participated in community conversations centered on Black culture and social awareness. The return of his character in the animated continuation, Everybody Still Hates Chris, shows how enduring Jerome's popularity remains. Jerome's humor masked a deeper message. The character symbolized the environment many young people must navigate, where danger and laughter coexist. Jackson's later work speaking to younger generations reinforces that message guidance matters. Sometimes entertainment opens the door, but mentorship keeps people moving forward. His journey suggests that experiences can become lessons, and lessons can help others avoid the same mistakes. Ernest Thomas, Mr. Omar. Mr. Omar, portrayed by Ernest Thomas, brought a unique presence to Everybody Hates Chris. As the local funeral home owner and a watchful neighbor, he often appeared calm, observant, and strangely comforting. He knew everyone in the community and seemed to understand more than he said. His interactions with Chris combined humor with quiet wisdom, offering advice without lectures. Mr. Omar functioned as a neighborhood elder, someone who had seen life's hardships and responded with patience rather than judgment. Thomas entered the show with decades of experience. He had already achieved fame in the late 1970s sitcom What's Happening, where his character Roger became widely recognized. That earlier success gave him a natural ease on screen, allowing him to portray Mr. Omar as believable rather than exaggerated. When Everybody Hates Chris aired from 2005 to 2009, he connected older and younger generations of television viewers. After the series, Thomas continued acting in film and television, appearing in projects such as Veep and later roles on BET productions. Beyond performance, he has spoken about encouraging aspiring actors and supporting creative communities. He has also openly discussed living with amblyopia, a vision condition, while maintaining an active career. Mr. Omar's importance was subtle but lasting. He represented stability, a figure who watched over the neighborhood without interfering. His presence reminded viewers that communities rely on people willing to care quietly. Not every mentor stands at a podium. Sometimes guidance comes from a neighbor who listens, observes, and offers a few thoughtful words at the right moment. Antonio Fargas, Doc Harris. In Everybody Hates Chris, Doc Harris, played by veteran actor Antonio Fargas, added a layer of neighborhood authenticity to the world surrounding Chris. Doc was one of the familiar adults in the community, a figure who seemed to know everyone and everything happening on the block. He didn't dominate storylines, but his presence helped establish the environment Chris was growing up in. Through characters like Doc, the series showed that childhood isn't shaped only by family and school. It is also influenced by the adults in the neighborhood who observe, advise, and sometimes quietly guide younger generations. Fargas brought decades of experience to the role. Long before the sitcom, he became widely recognized in the 1970s television series Starsky and Hutch as Huggy Bear, a charismatic character that made him a cultural icon. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, he appeared in numerous films and television productions across multiple genres, including comedies and crime dramas, proving his adaptability as a performer. When Everybody Hates Chris aired from 2005 to 2009, his participation connected the 70s era of television with a modern audience, introducing him to viewers who had never seen his earlier work. After the sitcom concluded, Fargas continued acting well into the 2000s, appearing in independent films and television projects, while remaining active at conventions and fan events. Outside acting, he has supported charitable causes focused on youth education and community assistance, demonstrating commitment beyond entertainment. Doc Harris may not have been the central character, yet he symbolized continuity, the older generation witnessing younger ones grow. Fargas's career reflects a similar idea: longevity built through dedication rather than constant spotlight. His journey reminds us that influence does not require constant attention. Sometimes simply being present, sharing experience, and offering encouragement can shape lives more than dramatic actions ever could. Michelle Esteem Risky. In Everybody Hates Chris, Risky, portrayed by Michelle Esteem, represented the street-smart teenagers Chris occasionally encountered outside the safety of school and home. Risky wasn't a central character, yet his appearances added realism to the series' depiction of a busy Brooklyn neighborhood. Through short but memorable moments, the show illustrated how different paths could exist within the same community. Risky often came across as confident and unpredictable, a contrast to Chris's cautious personality. These encounters helped reinforce one of the sitcom's themes growing up involves learning how to navigate influence, peer pressure, and choices that shape the future. Esteem's career extended beyond the show. He appeared in various comedy and television projects, gradually building recognition in Black television audiences. He later joined the cast of The Upshaws, a Netflix sitcom centered on family life, showing his continued involvement in comedic storytelling. In addition to acting, he pursued stand-up comedy and writing, performing at live events, and contributing creative material to comedy programs. His comedic style often draws from everyday experiences, making his performances relatable to viewers. Rather than staying limited to one role, Imani developed multiple skills behind the scenes as well, working in production and creative development. His path demonstrates the adaptability required in entertainment. Longevity often comes from versatility. Risky's character showed how easily young people can be influenced by their surroundings, while Estime's own journey emphasizes self-direction. His story offers a simple lesson: background does not define destiny. Environment may present challenges, but determination and creativity provide options. Choosing growth over circumstance can transform opportunity into progress, and even small roles can lead to meaningful careers when persistence guides the way. Paige Hurd, Tasha Clarkson. As Tasha Clarkson, Paige Hurd portrayed Chris's first real romantic interest, bringing a softer side to the series. Tasha was friendly, confident, and supportive, offering Chris acceptance during a period when he often felt overlooked. Their interactions captured the innocence and awkwardness of early teenage relationships, balancing the show's heavier themes with warmth. Through Tasha, viewers saw a different side of Chris, not the struggling student or nervous son, but a teenager discovering confidence and emotional connection for the first time. Hurd began acting in the early 2000s, with guest appearances on popular television shows and films before joining Everybody Hates Chris. The role introduced her to a wide audience and helped establish her presence in youth-oriented television. After the series ended in 2009, she continued building a steady career, appearing in projects such as The Oval and Power Book 2 Ghost, where she reached a new generation of viewers. She also appeared in several music videos and pursued modeling, expanding her visibility beyond traditional acting roles. Outside performance, Hurd frequently speaks about faith, discipline, and self-confidence, sharing personal reflections through interviews and social media. Her openness about growth and resilience resonates with younger audiences navigating similar stages of life. Tasha Clarkson's character symbolized encouragement, the impact of one person believing in another. Hurd's ongoing career reflects that same idea. Confidence often begins when someone feels seen and valued. A small moment of kindness can shape someone's self-image, and sometimes emotional support matters just as much as success. Looking back, the cast of Everybody Hates Chris reminds us that laughter often hides truth. The strict parents, loyal friends, and awkward teenage moments all carried lessons about perseverance, respect, and self-worth. But here's the real question. Did the show simply make us laugh, or did it quietly teach us empathy? Some viewers saw comedy, others saw their own childhood reflected on screen. Maybe its greatest achievement was helping people feel understood. Still, do modern sitcoms carry the same honesty today, or have we lost that authenticity? Share your opinion in the comments and join the discussion. If this journey meant something to you, support Black Excellence Legends, subscribe, and pass the video to someone who remembers those lessons.